South Carolina blew the brakes off the Volunteers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Slasher U. I'm your host, Christian Rao, here with my co-host, Steve Feck, and we're going to break down the win from the Gamecocks over at Tennessee by an astounding 63-38. This is a team, Steve, where we thought Tennessee had a chance to sneak into the college football playoffs. Obviously, that is not the case anymore, and more bad news keeps reeling in as now we have learned that Hendon Hooker has torn his ACL. He is out for the remainder of the season. We wish him a speedy recovery. We know he's going to have a great career in the NFL, but his college career with Virginia Tech and then Tennessee is now officially over.
Yeah, that's a tough break, and that's going to cost him some money now. I mean, there might be a team that might be willing to still pick him in the first round because he's such, you know, such a talented, such a dynamic. He seems to be a good field leader as well. But you have an ACL, a team might think, he might sneak by people. So maybe I can wait to the second round, save some bonus money, save some salary money, So unfortunately for him, the timing couldn't be. Well, the only way it would have been worse if it happened in a bowl game.
Right.
Where then it would be further along. So he would really, truly miss time. But here,
yeah, he has enough time. I think he's got enough time till April, and he's probably going to miss out in the combine. So a lot of workouts he's going to miss out on. So that is something that's definitely going to hurt him. But I will say the fact that he had an extra year because of COVID, that tape is enough. And I think we saw a lot of what Hendon Hooker can do this season, especially with his wins over Alabama. And I think GMs know what they're going to get in Hendon Hooker. It's just knowing if he can be healthy enough with that ACL. But we see it with other quarterbacks. I mean, Joe Burrow, for example, tore his ACL the following year. He went to a Super Bowl. So let's get back to this game here. South Carolina is so unpredictable. 7-4. There has been times where we thought they're going to be the worst team in the SEC. Now we're talking about them possibly having an 8-4 season if they find a way to beat Clemson next week, which who knows as ways this season has been unpredictable. And the reason it's been so unpredictable, Steve, is because Spencer Rattler. I mean, to me, he was this quarterback that was supposed to be just the most amazing quarterback you could think of coming out of high school, going in to Oklahoma, being the replacement. You know how people think about these Oklahoma quarterbacks. Well, he was supposed to just fit that mold 100%, and obviously didn't work out. He goes to South Carolina, and he seems to be a pretty good leader on the team, and that's something cool to keep in mind. But this game, which is 2 games, maybe 3 after his bowl game, before his college career is over, it was probably his absolute best day of his college career against Tennessee. He showed up at the right moment, the right time. Maybe this is exactly what he needs to find himself maybe getting on an NFL squad, not going undrafted, because I do think that is in the air still for Spencer Rattler because he's so unpredictable. But 438 yards, 6 touchdowns passing. I mean, he was absolutely incredible in this one. There's nothing else to say about other than he was just outstanding, Steve.
Yeah, and maybe there should be the game shots for the rest of the season because I don't think anybody saw this coming.
No,
I'm not even sure the South Carolina's coaching staff saw this coming. If you put them on a lie detector test, I think they would have failed if they said, "Oh no, we're going to beat Tennessee." But they scored on 9 of their 10 first full possessions. And they just exploited that secondary. It was the perfect storm for an upset like this to happen. And you got to be happy for the South Carolina program. And what people don't realize is this is now the second straight winning season for Shane Beamer.
Yeah.
And that hadn't been done since back when, Steve Spurrier was coaching, the Gamecocks. So we've been talking in a lot of our clips over the last couple of weeks about how this affects recruiting and the transfer portal. So this is just a huge, huge win for South Carolina to have jumped out the way that they did, with those 3 first quarter touchdowns. I mean, one was for 60 yards. It was just a great team win. Hooker, before he got hurt, he really did hit. It looked like maybe he was going to be able to pull his team out of it. They had a pretty good second and third quarter, but once he was down with that knee injury, I think all of the hopes for the Volunteers winning this game, not just the championship game, but just winning this game. It went right out the window.
Obviously, you can't predict injuries, but Vegas did have Tennessee as a 22.5 point favorite in this one, and South Carolina just absolutely put the hurt on them by 25 points. So they not only did they cover the spread, they doubled the spread, right? So insane there. Tennessee's going to definitely go down in the ranks. We just saw that already happen. They dropped out of the top 10 in the AP poll. We'll see what happens in the college football poll. But they will take on Vanderbilt to finish the season. Tennessee, you thought this was going to be a game that was going to be a really easy game, Steve, if you will. But Vanderbilt has found a way to win against the SEC, not just once, but twice. 2 games. They have a 2-game winning streak against the SEC, coming off a great win against the Florida Gators.
Yeah, and you have to wonder, Tennessee football fans, not Tennessee Volunteer football fans, but football fans in the state of Tennessee, where are their hearts going to be placed this week? I mean, what a great story if Vanderbilt becomes bowl eligible.
Yeah.
I think it's great. If you take pride in your state, you want to see all of the schools and all of the professional teams in your state, succeed. So how many people are going to be a Fairweather Commodore fan just because they want to see them make it? And now that Hendon Hooker is out, even a chance of at a bowl win, I think, is greatly compromised. So you've already had your high point, if you're a Tennessee Volunteer fan.
I agree.
But I don't think people are going to hate you if you switch over just for a game, just to see Vanderbilt become bowl eligible. And now that there's more bowls than there are football teams, I mean, I'm assuming that everybody is going to be able to make a bowl game. I think they're still creating bowl games here just in case, because I think there's a lot of teams that are interesting, like Vanderbilt, that are going to be in a bowl now. But seriously, though, it's worth the watch coming up this week. And I'm sure we'll probably preview this game in some way, shape, or form. Just because of the Vanderbilt angle. 3-game winning streak to close out an SEC season.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee trying to find a way to win without their leader. Hendon Hooker is their leader. Without Hendon Hooker, as good as this team is, the Volunteers would not have had anywhere near the type of season that they had if it wasn't without Hendon Hooker there. So.
Yeah, Joe Milton III will be coming in and being the quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers in this one against Vanderbilt. When he did come into the game against South Carolina last week, he went 4 for 8, 108 with 1 touchdown, a passer rating of 91.3. But that obviously wasn't good enough to get the victory there, losing by 25 points. They are a 15.5-point favorite going into this game against Vanderbilt. Let us know what your thoughts are. Do you think Tennessee is going to just completely get the win, move on, and wait for their bowl game? Or does Vanderbilt stand a chance and an opportunity for them to be bowl eligible? Let us know in the comments below. Hit like and subscribe while you're there. And thank you, as always, for watching SlasherU.